couple hours ago. I know, but you can't escape us, and you can't escape this hoop talk. Chill. Luka Doncic had an amazing Euro basket tournament, right? It was amazing. He got defensive honors. It's even been rumored that maybe he'll be an all-defensive player in 2026. Chill. From what I've been seeing from Luka, he's moving his feet. He's playing recovery defense. He's actually competing on the defensive bench. Can we get Luka in the all-defensive team this year on any team?
We can't. No, we can't.
No?
But here's the thing, Ox. When you've done something at such a low level, when you do it at even a median level or a below average level, that's way better than what you've been doing. So immediately it looks like it's a significant improvement, when in reality, it's just an improvement. So people want to definitely jump the gun and go, yo, we're going to get Luka. Like Luka can be an all-league defender. I don't think people are thinking that, but to see Luka improve on defense, to see Luka get better on defense from what we already had, that's definitely a big deal, Ox, because this is not going to do anything but make this Laker team even better. If I could see Luka, if we had this conversation a couple of days ago, we had this conversation today. If I could see Luka give me effort like this that he's giving me in this Eurobasket tournament, if I could see him giving me this kind of effort on a consistent basis with the Lakers, I'm not going as far as to say all defense, Ox. I ain't doing that. But I tell you what, the Lakers are going to be a lot better defensively, much better.
Yeah, of course. They're going to be better this year. We saw, they got Marcus Smart, so he's a defender. And chill. We know that Luka just signed that extension with the Lakers. And so with him signing that extension, the Lakers know, okay, we got Luka tied down for a little bit. Let's shore up our roster now. Let's make sure we have a competent team, not only today, but in the near future as well. Yep. So there's been even more talks about them looking to acquire another player who's known for their defense, and that other player is Andrew Wiggins.
Oh boy.
If they were to acquire Andrew Wiggins sometime during the trade deadline or whenever, what does that do for the Lakers, and what does that mean for the rest of the NBA and the West in particular?
I think it adds another defender, and it adds another wing player, another transition player, another body in terms of a capable scorer. It adds more life to what they already have with Vando. Better version of Vando with Marcus Smart, a bigger version. I don't think he's as good as Marcus Smart as an on-ball defender, but the defense that I get from him when he's challenged, because that's what they basically did in Golden State. They basically challenged him to be a better defender. That's what Draymond did. He challenged him to be a better defender. If you're gonna get on our crew, you can't just be good. No, that's not acceptable around here. And I think that's the same logic in Miami. And he was a little bit beat up, which would explain why we didn't really see much of him last season, because he was in and out of the lineup from being injured. But let's not forget what he was for that championship unit. I mean, he was arguably their best defender, even though it was Draymond on paper. But Andrew Wiggins was the guy who was taking the assignments. Andrew Wiggins was the guy in terms of IQ. He was the one who was the smartest one. He wasn't getting kicked out of games. Not only was he not getting kicked out of games or getting technical fouls, he was the one protecting Steph Curry the most. That Dallas series, I specifically remember that Dallas series where they were actively hunting Steph Curry, and Andrew Wiggins would not allow it. They were trying to get Steph Curry on Luka. They were trying to get Steph Curry on anybody that they could in terms of action, and Andrew Wiggins would not allow it. So
and you're talking about the 22 Western Conference Finals?
The 22 Western Conference Finals, yes, sir. They were doing everything that they can. They were getting Steph Curry in drag action. They were getting Steph Curry in double screens. They were getting Steph Curry in just high screens, and Andrew Wiggins would not allow it. Do not switch. Don't go under. Don't worry. I'm going to give you enough room to get through. Do not switch. I am not letting them get you onto this guy. And I think that that's a sign of competing, which Andrew Wiggins will do. And I think that he would be good for this Laker team. I think the difference, Ox, is we get so wrapped up in the idea that teams are just going to give the Lakers anything. And I don't think that that's the case here. I think that this Miami Heat team, despite what people may think about them, I don't think they're that far away, Ox. I really think that their issue is at the lead guard spot, because I think they got their small forward who is 29 years old, which is the same age that Jimmy Butler was when they got him. They got Bam Adebayo, who's in the peak of his career in terms of being a great player. They got their young big in Khalil Ware, who's also awesome. And then you got your two guard. All they need is a lead guard. So why would they give the Lakers Andrew Wiggins when we ain't that far away from really competing for the Eastern Conference Championship? We're not. All we need is a lead guard, somebody that can give us stability at the lead guard spot, somebody who can score. Because I don't think that it's Davion Mitchell, because I don't think he can score enough, Ox. I think that he's a player who can give you stability in terms of defense. But in this game, Mars and I had this conversation about a year ago. Not a year ago. We had this conversation a while ago. If you're going to play point guard in this game, you have to be able to score. You don't got to average 30, Ox, but 12, 14 again. That's not enough. That's not enough. You're going to, especially if we're going to compete at a high level for an NBA championship, if we're going to go deep in the playoffs, 14 games not enough at the point guard spot. You're going to have to score more on a consistent basis. I need 17, 18 a game from you on a consistent basis. And I think that with this Miami Heat team, why would they give the Lakers Andrew Wiggins for Rui and Gabe Vincent when in reality this is a team that isn't that far away from really competing in the Eastern Conference? So I like how it sounds on paper, and to be honest with you, Ox, it sounds really good. It looks really good. I actually think that he fits in with them really well. Who doesn't he fit in with a 6'8" legit wing, supremely athletic, can defend with the best of them? Let's not forget, Ox, I averaged 20 a game in Minnesota for my career. I can get buckets. So don't ever worry about me not being a bucket getter. I averaged 20 a game when I was in Minnesota for my career getting buckets. So I could get buckets. That's not the question. The question is him staying in Miami, is the small forward spot the issue? Nah. And what that benefits the Lakers. And I don't think that Miami does business that way.
Right. Yeah. I'm not sure why Miami would do it. It doesn't make sense to me.
No.
But see, like you said, that would be a great pickup for the Lakers, though.
Yes.
And to your point also about Miami, I do think Davion Mitchell's better served as a backup point guard as opposed to leading the team. But then, like you said, they're not far away. I believe they'll make the playoffs this year. You know what I'm saying? If with this roster alone, they just got Norman Powell out there, so I think they got enough to definitely make the playoffs this year. I'm not sure where that will take them, but I think they can do it. Without a doubt.
I vividly remember the Indiana Pacers in the 90s. They had Poole Richardson, they had Vern Fleming, and they were losing to like the Knicks in the playoffs. And I remember Mark Jackson saying that he was looking at that Knicks team going, boy, I could really help them. There's somebody that's going to see this Miami Heat team going, man, I could really help that crew. Looking at Bam, Tyler Hero, Khalil Ware, and Andrew Wiggins. There's a lead guard in the game like Colin Sexton, looking at them going, yo, I could really help that crew. I see what they're trying to do down there, and I can give them that stability at the point guard spot where we can make a run in the playoffs. I definitely can do that.
Yeah, I think so. Well, yeah. I mean, the Lakers, they've pulled off tons of things, and just from what I've seen, just in my life alone. I know they've done more before that. So I wouldn't be surprised if they figured out a way to get Andrew Wiggins, whether if it was like a 3-team situation. I'm not sure how they would get it done. I don't think Rui alone is enough. I don't think Gabe Vincent moves the needle much, but no. I think they can figure out a way to do it. And I mean, if you get Marcus Smart, Vando, Andrew Wiggins, and Luka Doncic playing all defense level defense,
they make them significantly better. And again, I want to reiterate, Luka Doncic as a all-league defender, he's just been displaying that he's better than what he was in the past. And that's all I ever was asking from Luka. I wasn't asking. I know Luka ain't Drew Holiday. I know Luka ain't Derek White, right? I know Luka isn't, one of the better defenders. He's not Tumani Kamara. He's not that guy. He's not Dyson Daniels. No, he's not that good on defense. What I was always asking for with Luka was I was always asking for effort. And where the scale got tipped for me, where I was out, and I ain't gonna lie to you, Ox, when I watched that Utah game and that ball went by his head, and that was his guy, by the way. That was his man who scored the winning bucket. I was like, I'm out on this dude. This dude does not want to compete on the defensive end. All he wants to do is get to the basketball and go back down and score. Then what that sounds to me like is a punch-drunk boxer. I think I can hit you more than I can stop you from hitting me. And that's not winning basketball, which is why ultimately Nico Harrison looked at the tape. He saw what happened in the finals. Yo, we ain't winning with this dude. Well, fast forward a couple of months later, to your point, Ox, yo, Luka got rabbit ears. Yo, y'all think I'm fat. Y'all think I'm not committed. Y'all think I'm out of shape. You guys don't think that I'm really the real deal. And come to find out, Luka can move his feet. Come to find out, Luka's hands do get busy. Come to find out, he can recover on defense. Wow, imagine that. Imagine what that would do for your crew, Luka, if you could do that. Imagine what that could do for your team overall if you could do that on a consistent basis. If you could do that, I think we're looking at I think we're looking at not only a different Luka, I think we're looking at a different Laker team.
100%. 100%. They definitely need Luka to play some defense this year. Bron is, I mean, he's still great, but he's I don't think he's able to play the level of defense he once was able to play. I think he's been showing that for the past few seasons. So Luka's definitely going to have to step it up and keep playing keep giving the effort that he's been giving in this Euro Cup tournament. I think that's all that should be expected. I don't think that's asking for too much too. So if Luka can keep up this effort, I think that's enough for the Lakers.
And I think that they see that, Ox. I do. I think that the Lakers see that, and I think that when I see, Ox got himself in better shape. Ox became a better rebounder over the summer. Ox looks like he's in better shape. He's moving faster. Well, that resonates throughout the rest of the crew. All right, I see that. I got to get on my job. And that resonates throughout the rest of the crew. I got to be a better defender. I got to be a better distributor. Ox is in better shape, which means he's going to be running the floor more, which means he's going to be looking for the basketball more. I got to be a better passer. I got to do more homework. And I think that resonates throughout the rest of this Laker crew, that when they have Luka doing what he's doing, well, DeAndre Ayton is like, well, I got to make sure that I get on the glass more. If this dude is going to play defense like this, I got to make sure that I get on the glass more. Marcus Smart is seeing him move his feet. Well, I got to beat guys to spots too. I got to make sure that I open up on screens. That way he doesn't get that way he doesn't die on screens. Vando is the same way. James on the offensive end, he sees the kind of shape that Luka is in. Very much like when he played with Kyrie Irving. Yo, Luka's going to play off the ball more, and I'm going to set him up like I was setting up Kyrie Irving so he could get busy like Kyrie Irving was doing. And we saw what happened when those two guys got together, and we saw the kind of chemistry that they had. So I think this is a good thing. I think this is a damn good thing.
Right. Sure, I know people are saying whatever they want to say about it, but you don't just get nominated to be the defensive player of the Euro Cup tournament.
No, that's
not playing defense. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't just happen because you're not playing defense. You have to play defense in order for that to happen. That's just not something they're like, oh well, Luka's playing good, let's give it to him. No, that's just not how it works. You have to play defense, and that's what Luka has been doing. I think he showed that. So shout out to him. Shout out to Slovenia for how long they've how good they did in this tournament, and shout out to the Lakers. And we'll see if they do get Andrew Wiggins, and if they do, we'll see how that happens. I don't see the avenue for that to happen, but hey, I mean, they got it figured out over there. They'll figure it out. In other news, Chill, there's been even more whispers, rumors, if you will. Jaylen Brown says he's not opposed to ending up in Atlanta. Now, what does that mean for the NBA alone? I mean, because they just got KP. Jalen Johnson will be back this season. Trae Young is the same 30-10 guy he's been. If they can add the defensive presence of Jaylen Brown and just his overall basketball ability, I could see that being a really good team, Chill.
Well, the first thing that we have a problem with is his contract. He's on the books for 4 more years guaranteed at 53, 57, 61, and 64 million, which means that if they were to trade for him, they would have to give up something significant. And I don't think that there's anything that the Atlanta Hawks have that the Celtics are interested in outside of draft picks. Nothing. That's number one. Number two, I think this is moving forward. I don't think that this is something that could happen right now. I mean, Jaylen Brown, I think this is the opportunity where we are here without Jason Tatum that he's been waiting for. You dudes say that I've been playing with him I've been playing with Jason Tatum the whole time I've been playing with him. He's much better than me. In addition to him being much better than me, I need him a lot more than I think that I do. So this is an opportunity for me to show the ball handler that I am, to show the distributor that I am, to show how smart I am as a basketball player, to show the bucket getter that I am, to show the all-around player that I am, how much better I can be without him, in that the offense can be ran, one, through me. I can be not just the primary bucket getter, but I can also play that kind of role what Jason Tatum played, where I'm running the offense. I'm a hub in the offense, and I'm interested to see how this works with Jaylen Brown. I don't think that he's interested in playing for an Atlanta team that is on the brink, I think, of becoming a championship contender, because again, when we talk about the Eastern Conference, which I think is going to be one of the most competitive Eastern Conferences in a long time, when we talk about that, for Atlanta to get him, they would have to unload a lot in order to get him, which I don't think would then, with Jaylen Brown being on the floor, even with him and Trae Young, I don't think that would make them contenders, because they would have to get, I think, Jalen Johnson or Dyson Daniels, one of them two dudes got to come off. One of them two, if I'm Boston, one of them two dudes, you got to hand them over. And if it's me, if it's me, I think Dyson Daniels fits into more to what they're doing than Jalen Johnson. Even though Jalen Johnson is younger, I love the fact that Dyson Daniels being the perimeter defender and how good that defense has been in the past with the Boston Celtics. And when you get Jason Tatum back, if you got a ball handler, not just a ball handler, if you got a defender like Dyson Daniels, I think he makes that Celtic team so much better. If I look at what Dyson Daniels does offensively, when they take Trae Young off the floor, I think I mentioned this to you in the past, Ox, when they take Trae Young off the floor, they put Dyson Daniels at the one, and that offense is humming. It's not as good with Dyson Daniels in terms of the distribution, but it's still humming, because at 6'8", he does get downhill. He does know how to navigate screens. He's really good. He's really good at starting the offense. He's really good at being a screen setter, being a dive guy. In addition to that, setting guys up. He might not be to the level of Trae Young, but that thing still is humming. So if I'm moving off of Jaylen Brown, Dyson Daniels is just one of the guys that's gonna have to be in that deal. Because remember, he's still on his rook deal. Like, so that's a little bit of money. That's not a lot of money that I'm unloading. I need some other people along with Dyson Daniels, and I just don't think that works. I don't think that works for Atlanta. As good as Jaylen Brown is, I just don't think that works for Atlanta.
Right. Yeah, I just don't know how. Yeah, I just don't know how it works on that end. The finances, the moving pieces. That's the issue I'm having with it. As far as just basketball goes, Jaylen Brown go home and back to Atlanta and all of that. I mean, I would love to see it. But to your point, though, Chill, I'm excited to see what Jaylen Brown does this season. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? What he does in Boston, where he already is. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's always cool to talk about, oh, what if this happens? What if that happens? Can this guy go here? Can this guy go there? Yeah, it's great for conversation, but, I mean, he has a home. It's in Boston. They signed him to an incredible contract. He's won Finals MVP there. You know what I mean? He's been on all NBA teams there. He's entrenched in the community. You know what I'm saying? So Jaylen Brown being in Boston is something I would be, that's something I'm excited to see. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want to watch. Obviously, we miss Jason Tatum. Everybody does. Fans of Boston and guys that aren't fans of Boston. We all want Jason Tatum to be on the floor. But I think this is a great chance for Jaylen Brown to show who he really is. Even Derek White. I think it's a great chance for Derek White to show who he is. Anthony Simons. I mean, the team has taken a big hit. They lost Drew. They lost Jason. They lost Kristaps. But I still think they got some good pieces over there. And I'm excited to see what Boston does this year. Look out for Jaylen Brown getting back to that All-NBA level.
We gotta remember too, Ox, to your point. Absolutely. I'm an All-NBA player. So let's not forget that. I'm an All-Star, multiple years. And I know this sounds crazy to some of y'all, but I've been in Boston for 9 years now, right? We're going into year 9. So it's not like I've been there for 2 or 3 years. I've been there almost a decade. I showed up in 2016. Jason Tatum showed up the next year. So we're going on 10 years that I've been here, right? So this isn't a year where I only been here for a couple of years. I'm, to your point, I'm entrenched in Boston. I've been up here for a long time. I've been in the community. I've been a Boston. So you can almost, not almost, I'm going to take that back. You could say I'm a Celtic. You can very well say that. Won the NBA championship, won the finals MVP, and it wasn't in 1 or 2 years. I've been here the entire time doing this kind of stuff. So yeah, I don't think that Jaylen Brown is a guy that they would just hand over like that. No. And on top of that, I got 4 more years left on my deal. On top of that, I got 4 more years left on my deal. And with me having that, that'll be, I will be here for like 12, 13 years. That's a career.
Right. Now, mind you, chill. I mean, so what is he? He's 28, turning 29 this year.
28. Yep.
So if Jaylen does decide to maybe finish up at home, you know what I'm saying, go back to Atlanta after this is over, 23, I mean, not 23, I'm sorry, 32, 33, 34, those latter years where I still think he'll be a good basketball player.
Sure.
I mean, that would be pretty cool. Like, I like to see guys finish up at home. You know what I mean? Like, Kawhi's doing that, or I assume that's what he's doing. James Harden, guys like that. Go home, play some ball in front of the family. I think that's pretty cool. I definitely do.
Do you think Kawhi would play anywhere else, Ox? Do you think that there's interest for Leonard? And what I want to take off the table, even though this is always something that matters in terms of the money, I'll take the money off the table. Do you think that he would be interested? Anybody else would be interested in Kawhi Leonard?
I think everybody's interested in Kawhi Leonard. He's one of the best players in the NBA, but there's so much comes with Kawhi. You know what I'm saying? The health situation. I don't think anybody after this contract is up, nobody is paying Kawhi big dollars. Like I don't see that happening. But I think, especially with all these things that are going on now, I think Kawhi's almost at the finish line. I think we might get maybe 2 more, maybe. I don't know. I mean,
I had him out the league. To be honest with you, Ox, I had him out the league 2 years ago. I said that to you guys. I said that his body wouldn't hold up. I thought that after 2 years, I thought that he'd be out the league. And coincidentally, we got this nonsense going on, which I don't really think much is going to come of it. To be honest with you, I think that I think that there is going to be a penalty. I think they're going to lose some draft picks, but I don't think this is going to end his career. But I think it's pretty convenient that he is at this space now where, he's 33 years old, going on 30. He'll be 34 in June of next year. I mean, I don't know how much longer he's going to play. So I think it's pretty convenient that it's becoming this. I think it's really convenient that that's going
on. What is he has how many 2 more years left on the contract anyway?
He just signed an extension for 143 million. So yes, he's got 2 more years left on this deal that he currently has. And I don't think anybody's trading for him. I'd be surprised if anybody decided that they would be interested in trading for Kawhi Leonard. So he, like I said, Ox, this June that just passed, he just turned 34. So him being on the books with the Clippers at the price, he's on the books for 2 more years, Ox, this season and next season for $50 million. So he's got $100 million left on his deal. So after the 26-27 season, he comes off the books. The question that needs to be answered is he'll be 36 at that point. Do we wrap it up? Do we say, all right, I'm out, or do we keep playing?
I don't think he'll have much of a choice, Chill, because Kawhi doesn't seem like the type to play for cheap, And I just can't fathom a franchise paying Kawhi Leonard the top dollar. It's hard for me to imagine that the Clippers are paying him that much right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and that's today. So I'd be very shocked if anybody's giving him big money at 36, 37 years old. I mean, his knees are 50 or 57, 58 already. You know what I'm saying? It's like I don't think Kawhi can play more than 45 games a season. So I don't think so. I think he's retiring a Clipper, I'm pretty sure.
And I think that he also is one of those guys who, and I'm on record saying it, Ox, I don't think we ever see him again. Like, he's one of them dudes that once he retires, I wouldn't be surprised if we never saw him again. Like, 10 years from now, you're like, where's Kawhi at? Does anybody know? Has anybody seen him? Has anybody seen this dude? Does anybody know where he is? Does anybody have any idea where he is? Because I think that he's one of them dudes that'll be in the Amazon some damn where, in Brazil some damn where, and we never see him again, ever.
Somewhere someone planting trees, right? You?
Yes, that's it. Yep, that's him.
Someone planting. But you know, I just can't imagine a basketball world without Kawhi Leonard. I don't want to be involved in the basketball world that Kawhi Leonard's not involved in, man. This is terrible.
The unfortunate thing about him was that we got an idea of what it looked like, and we saw what it looked like. And when we saw what it looked like, it was nothing short of fantastic, Ox. This guy was amazing, right? So when we get to see what that looks like, and then it goes the other way, it's like, damn, like what if he could have sustained that for some years? And we don't really want to see him go away. And he's not one of them dudes that I look at and I go, yo, this dude doesn't love basketball. I think he loves playing basketball. Like I saw today that there are some people who think that what Kawhi Leonard was doing just wasn't, cool. He was stealing money and, he wasn't really injured. And I was like, I think Kawhi Leonard is a baller at the end of the day. And I read reports that, there was times where he was reduced to tears because he wants to play. But physically, I just can't do it. Right? Physically, I just can't do it. And he just strikes me, watching him, he strikes me as a baller. Like if he didn't play in the NBA, I 100% believe you could find him at the local rec center. I 100% believe that you would find him at a park somewhere every weekend, balling, because that's the kind of player he is. It's just that when you see somebody who physically can't do it anymore, or who can't do it at the level that they used to be able to do it, we automatically assume that they don't want to do it. No, it's not that I don't want to do it. I can't do it. But as far as what's going on with the Clippers, they clearly tried to circumvent the salary cap. If we're being honest about this whole thing, Ox, they clearly tried to circumvent the salary cap, and Steve Ballmer is the culprit of that. And there's too many things to suggest. And just so you know, ladies and gentlemen, Ox and I have had this conversation about the smoking gun, and me being the prosecutor. I don't need a smoking gun to convict you. I don't. All I need is the circumstantial evidence, and I can let you connect the dots. A prime example, I didn't need the knife to put OJ in jail. I can give you the stuff to suggest what this was. The killer wore a size 12 shoe. OJ, you wear a 12 shoe. There's blood in the house. OJ, this is your blood type. This is when the crime happened. OJ, you can't tell us where you were during this time. Like, this is the circumstantial evidence that connecting the dots. Bop, bop, bop. Okay, wait a minute. This starts to make sense that if you didn't do this, you definitely had something to do with it. So with Kawhi Leonard, if you didn't do this with all the dots that are being connected, you definitely, one, knew about it, or two, had something to do with it. Because I can promise you, when I see stuff like when I see stuff like a termination clause, okay, what a termination clause, Oxen, you've dealt with contracts before. Okay, how do we get out of this? On what level do we decide, all right, you know what? I don't want to do this no more. And we get out of it. One part of the termination clause is if he's still with the Clippers. Okay, that doesn't work. And the reason why that doesn't work, Ox, is because LeBron James' deal with Nike isn't contingent on him playing for the Cavs. No, right. That's not the way that works. His deal with Nike isn't contingent on him being with the Miami Heat. This deal with aspirations was contingent on him being with the Clippers. And guys make deals with other teams, right? Guys make deals locally to make money on the side. But with that being said, when they step off, okay, the deal is done when they step off. Because locally, I'm going to go to Minnesota and the Sunshine Network down in Florida, down in South Florida. All right, we no longer do that. So we're no longer affiliated with you. All right, I get that part. So these are just things that I'm thinking about with Kawhi Leonard when it comes to, circumventing the salary cap. And Steve Ballmer, he's the biggest culprit in all of this, Ox, because when I think about him, and you and I have had this conversation more than once, more than twice, you don't want Leonard on the hook for some bullshit that you got me involved in. That's essentially what this is. Like, right. This really ain't my issue. You the one got me.
Not essentially. 100%. Because thank God for Kawhi, he hired me for a defense attorney. because I refuse to let my client go down for circumstantial evidence. I can show you hundreds of thousands of people in the LA area that wear a size 12 shoe. I can show you hundreds of thousands of people in the LA area that have the same blood type as me. You know what I'm saying? The burden of evidence is on you. You haven't done your job. We going home. Chill. We are out of here. Like, believe you me. Yeah, the trial might take a couple months, but we are going home. You know what I'm saying? I can guarantee you that. So the whole thing, it's definitely fishy. It's definitely fishy. Something foul happened here. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. And I mean, but we all know it happens, and it's just kind of like y'all could have done a better job. I think this was kind of arrogant and smug the way you guys went about it.
Issue right
there. And you know what I'm saying? I just definitely think you guys could have done a better job of playing the game that everybody plays. You know, like you're not above this, and once it comes out that whatever happened, they deserve to face whatever penalty there is to be faced, whether that's fines, draft picks. I don't know what the possibilities are, but if whatever Steve Ballmer did, Uncle Dennis, Kawhi Leonard, whoever is at fault here deserves to be punished, however that punishment looks. Now, people talking about selling the team, all that, I think that might be a little overboard, but
we ain't doing that.
You know, we'll see, man. We'll see.
That's probably my biggest issue right there, what you just said, Ox. I can appreciate you trying to get over on me. All right. I can appreciate you running a scheme. All right, I can get that. Don't talk to me like I'm stupid, man. Don't do that, yo. And I think I feel like with Steve Ballmer, that's how he treating us. He treating me, he's literally treating me like I'm completely oblivious. Steve, I'm not as dumb as I look. I promise you that. I'm not as dumb as I sound. I can put 2 and 2 together. And when I see all of this evidence, and then I see you, as powerful and rich as you are, get on television and essentially say, I'm the victim here, that makes it even worse. That just compounds. That compounds it, Ox. That makes it even worse.
You know what I didn't know, Chill? I didn't know Steve Ballmer was the chick that shows up at home at 5:30 in the morning, hair messed up, makeup all over the place, talking about I fell asleep at my homegirl's house. I did not know that Steve Ballmer was that chick to just come home. I'm talking about holding your shoes, no drawers on. I fell asleep at my homegirl house. Oh, Steve.
She the one who had me out all night. She the one who had me. I told her to take me home, but she the one who had me in the damn car. She wouldn't let me leave the club. Come on, baby. You think don't do me like that. Don't. Just tell me who you was with, and let's get to the bottom of this. Don't do me like that, please.
You better go. You better go back to your homegirl house. That's what you better.
That's really that's really where your ass need to go, because to talk to me like I'm dumb as hell, that I'm just supposed to be like, yeah, I can see your hairs all over the place, and I can see, wow, you got your shoe in your hand. Come on, get in here and let's get to the bottom of this and let me clean you up. Hell no, you think I'm stupid? And you ain't got no underwear on? Get your ass out of here. Hell no.
Oh, that's incredible. I mean, but with that being said, though, Chill, I did talk about that before, and I know people will say, well, Steve Ballmer is such a, he's rich, he must be a great businessman. No way he got scammed. I just don't. I think that happens a lot where, okay, I met these guys, I see their business, their business. I'm like, I like that. I got some money for you, and then it comes out that these guys were just top-notch scammers. I mean, Chill, I told a story on my channel last week. That happened to me before, Chill. When I was first starting to get into business and was investing in different companies, I got whooped by somebody that I knew. I thought I trusted the person. I knew him from a while. And they were supposed to be designing a video game. I put some decent money in there, and
that was it.
What? Haven't seen that dude in years, Chill.
And with that being said, Ox, okay, and this isn't to disrespect you on any level, but that's small time. When you 100 billion up,
oh yeah,
you got people. If you 100 billion up, Ox, if I'm a company, I got to go through so many people before I even get to you. Even if I know you, you dig? Right. Before I even get to sit across a table with you, I got to talk to this person and this person and this person and this person, and I got to pitch this, and this before I even get to sit down with you. and ask you how you feel about this. So with that being said, if you telling me that you got scammed, that means you got the wrong people working for you. And ain't no way you got the wrong people working for you if you're 115 billion up. Nah, you smarter than that.
I'm sure Steve Ballmer has invested in other businesses that failed, other businesses that didn't come to fruition. So
that part I'm not gonna argue. That part that part I will not argue. What I will argue though is you definitely invested in businesses that have gone under, no doubt about that. Right. But when you're doing something that's clearly connected to the NBA, which is what you're known for. I mean, we all know that you used to be. You're a founder of Microsoft, and we all know what your net worth is, no question about that. But with the Clippers, we know that there's some stipulations, and you can't do any and everything that you want to do like you could in the computer world. So there's ways that you're circumventing not just the salary cap, but circumventing the rules. You don't get to the top of the ladder without sidestepping a couple of landmines. No, you don't do that. So with Steve Ballmer being as successful as he is as a businessman, he knows how to maneuver deals. And when I have a guy that can come to my team and make a difference for my team, like what Kawhi Leonard was doing at that time, because remember what we're talking about, Ox? We're talking about 2019 when Kawhi Leonard was basically at the top of the food chain. And I'm asking Ox, this $40 million that you leaving on the table, I'm gonna make that right. I got you covered, brother. I'm gonna make that right. Now, how I'm gonna make that right? We can sit down and we can talk about it, because you're not just gonna go, okay, he gonna make $40 million right, and all right, that's just he. Because I know he can't just write me a check for $40 million. I know that for a fact. But him saying, yo, I'm gonna make that right. There's some things that he's gonna have to do in order to make that right, and this is one of them, which means building a company to circumvent the salary cap so I could get this bread to you. So I think that the arrogance for me is the biggest issue, because I'm never one of those people who thinks that I know everything. But the thing that bothers me the most is don't talk to me like I'm stupid. Don't do that to me, man. And I feel like that's how Steve Ballmer, I think that's how Steve Ballmer is treating us right now. Like we just oblivious to what's going on in the world of business, to what's going on in talking about money, and you being that rich. Yo, there's no way that this could have possibly happened to you. You got jerked. You're the one that's the victim. Man, come on, Steve. Don't do me like that, man. Don't.
Yeah, don't do that to me. That's just playing in people's faces. I don't like that. So before we do move on, I'm wondering, wonder how James Harden feels about this. Like, hold on, where's my tree planting company? Y'all give, I'm out here balling. Where's my circumvented salary? Well, oh man.
And not just him. And not just they know who they're dealing with when it comes to Steve Ballmer. They know what kind of bread he hold. They know that they know the kind of dude he is. And I think he takes care of all of them dudes on some level. I do. I think he takes care of all. And Ox, I heard something earlier, which I never thought about this. Steve Ballmer being the type of owner that he is and having the kind of bread he is. Let's say, for the sake of argument, Ox, all right, you leave that bread on the table in Toronto, and I owe you. I said that I was gonna make this right with you. So, Ox, how you feel about any other game when you come back in the locker room after you went, I don't know, 24, 8, and 8? There's a duffel bag on your locker, and it's stuffed with hundreds. And as you know, dough is untraceable. Cash is untraceable. Right. And Steve Ballmer got so much of it. That it's nothing for it to get lost. So I don't know, Ox, in December, we just got finished playing Milwaukee and you went for 26-7. And on your locker, there's a bag about this big, about this wide, and it's stuffed with hundreds. And again, you don't have to take that bread and put it in the bank. That's why you got a safe in the house. Right. That's the dough that you put to the side. And if you did that, because again, Kawhi Leonard was first team All NBA that entire season. Well, if that was going on throughout the course of the year, I mean, I think we can make that bread up pretty quickly. I don't think that that's something that we would have to worry about, because again, it's untraceable. It ain't like it's something that Yo, hey Steve, where does $40 million come from? Okay, first of all, what $40 million? What are you talking about? Kawhi Leonard got $40 million. What are you talking about? I don't know what you mean. Well, there was a duffel bag. What duffel bag? First of all, are you in my locker room? What do you know that I don't know? I don't know anything about this. So yeah, I am definitely one of these people who my grandmother told me when I was a kid, Ox, if you're gonna do something wrong, do it right. So right. Steve Ballmer was one of them guys that he just thought that I could just do whatever I want. And I can tell you whatever I want. And when you got money like that, you think that you really can do that, whatever you want to do. And nah, that's not the way things work. No.
Sure, that's always the correct answer in situations like that. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know. I will as old as I am, and I got a really good memory. That doesn't mean I don't forget stuff, because I do forget stuff. I will conveniently. I don't remember that. No, I don't. Unfortunately,
I'm sorry. I wish I could help you, but I don't know.
That's my line right there. I wish I could help you.
I wish I could. Oh man, chill. We spoke on the Boston Celtics a moment ago. We spoke about Jason Tatum, and unfortunately, he won't be playing this season. Another guy brought up Jason Tatum earlier, by the name of Tracy McGrady. We call him Mac Sauce. Tracy McGrady says he doesn't think that there's anybody in the league that could do that. Basically, nobody in the league today is like him. But he said if Jason Tatum took some mid-ranges, he could be. What do you think about that statement?
I am on record, and I got roasted for this when I said that. I feel like Jason Tatum is everything that Tracy McGrady was supposed to be. From the game, from the off-the-court stuff, from the winning. That's who he reminds me of more than I don't think he's the athlete that Tracy McGrady was. I think that there's some separation there. I think Tracy McGrady is a better athlete. I don't think he's far and superior athlete, but I do think he's a better athlete than Tracy McGrady. But I feel like the stuff that he does as a ball player, it just reminds me of Tracy McGrady when I watch him. And I'm not saying that he plays like Tracy McGrady, but I feel like with him, when he plays in the mid-range, if he played in the mid-range a little bit more, like his one-on-one game, I'm like, yo, if there's an archetype of player, 6'8", 6'9", like Tracy McGrady, that guy right there, he reminds me of that guy. But when you say, Ox, that when you say that somebody reminds you of somebody, like a girl reminds you of this girl, that doesn't mean that she's her. Right? That doesn't mean that that's the exact same girl. No, you just remind me of this person. And when I see Jason Tatum, that was the first thing I'm like, he is what Tracy McGrady should have been. Very much like Russell Wilson was what Michael Vick should have been when he was in the league. Everything that Russell Wilson was, Michael Vick should have been that. The winner, the big time quarterback, everything. So when I think about Tracy McGrady, he did say, in my prime, I don't think that there's anybody in the league touching me. I ain't going that far, Max Sauce. Okay. I know that you was nice, and I'm not going to argue that, my man. I'm not saying that you wasn't nice, because you was hell to deal with. No doubt about that. You was 100% hell to deal with. But to say that ain't nobody touching you in your prime, like Giannis is running around, Joker is running around, Luka is running around. If this is 2002 and Luka is in the league and Joker is in the league, I think Joker's gonna have. I think Joker's gonna have. He might have something to say, even though Ox, Shaq running around and Tim Duncan running around. He got some other people that he got to deal with, no doubt about it. And I think that we're looking at him a little bit different. But guys like Giannis, even though there's a bunch of power forwards running around, Giannis will definitely have something to say, right? Giannis would definitely have something to say about how awesome you are. Like guys, like no question about that. They would definitely have something to say about that.
When T-Mac's talking about that, I don't think he's taking into account Jokic, Embiid, Giannis. I think he's subconsciously just like not even like thinking about the big fellas. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure he's more so talking about the wings and the guards. I would assume so. I mean, I would hope so. But and if he is, I'll stand with T-Mac. I stand with T-Mac on that statement. If he's, because I don't think Ant is big enough. Jason Tatum not aggressive enough.
Yeah.
KD's a little over the hill. you know.
Yeah.
So that's my only thought process of that. But I mean, T-Mac is, he's feeling himself and remembering just the old times, and I'm not mad at that. Like those type of statements, I'm not really mad at. I don't think he means it in a malicious way. Like when Paul Pierce says things, like I think he's more so just being a hooper, just talking a little mess. You know what I'm saying? I think specifically Paul Pierce, I think he means it, but at the same time, he's kind of just like, he means it, but he just still like, oh man, them youngsters, they not doing nothing, just having fun. So I hope nobody takes that too personally or too seriously, and they just accept it as all just the OG talking a little mess, Shout out to T-Mac. We are getting out of here earlier. Y'all know it's Thursday. So I do got a full lobby. I just want y'all to know right now, I will not get to all of y'all.
Let's get to them.
Maybe
as many as we can, Ox. Let's get to them. Let's do it.
Classic. What up?
What up? Yo, what up, guys? Yeah, just real quick. I missed the football episode. Ox, Jalen Hurts is the best quarterback in the league. And then getting the basketball. The Luka
Jalen Hurts isn't better than Brock Purdy.
Man, look, we ain't got much time. We ain't got much time. We ain't got much time. But Jalen Hurts is the best running quarterback in NFL history, which is why he's the best now.
Hell no!
The best runner. Like I said, we ain't got to get on that. We ain't got to get on that.
Yeah, classic. Yeah,
he was not better than Randall Cunningham. Yeah. No, he was not as a runner.
Yes, he was better than Randall Cunningham. He's a better running quarterback, not passer.
Hell no, he wasn't. No way.
But in regards as a runner, Jalen Hurts is the best running quarterback in NFL history. Think about it. He's responsible for the most unstoppable play. Nobody can stop the tush push with Jalen Hurts. But Jalen Hurts is the only quarterback that can do the tush push that good. So I respect that. He's like Shaq right now in the NFL. So I got to give him his credit. And then just real quick though.
Keep going. I'm listening, brother. Keep going.
With the Eurobasket, I've always thought that Luka was a smart defender. I've always loved his hands, like his ability to get steals and stuff. But I do think that we are overblowing what he's doing in the Eurobasket, because the Eurobasket, that's not the same competition he's going to see in the NBA. So he's not going to be a good defender once the regular season starts, because the guys in the NBA are way better than the guys he's playing in the Eurobasket.
Classic, can I just get competent effort? That's all I'm looking for. That's all I want. I'm just looking for competent effort. That's it. I'm not looking for Drew Holiday level defense, right? I'm not looking for any of that. I'm looking for competent effort. He ain't Amen Thompson. I know that. He ain't Dyson Daniels. I know that. I'm just looking for competent effort. That's it.
Yeah, I definitely think y'all will get that. And then with the Tracy McGrady, man, I'm just tired of hearing about this Tracy McGrady stuff, man. Like Adam Silver just said that for the people that can't pay for the subscriptions, you can just watch the highlights. And people that just love this Tracy McGrady, I feel like that's why the league is like it is now. We don't care about who wins the game or what you do. We just care about the highlights. Like all this talk about a guy that never made it past the first round is just insane to me. So that's just bothering me. We need to talk about guys that actually won. Like let's say if you replace Kobe with Paul Pierce in 2000, now I can understand somebody saying, okay, Paul Pierce could have won the chip with Shaq, but T-Mac, I just can't get with that logic that a guy that just did not have any type of playoff success at all is just gonna win a chip just because he was with Shaq. But I appreciate y'all having me up, man. Y'all have a good one.
Yeah. All right, Jalen Hurts, the best running quarterback of all time. He wild as hell with that.
What's up? Fellas, it's like I'm getting invited to the homie crib. But anyway, what's good with y'all, man?
What up?
First of all, that man that just spoke talking about Jalen Hurts is the best. That is the most blasphemous thing I've ever heard. But I'm not going to spend too much time. I was having a conversation with my pops, and I wanted to get y'all takes on it. Do y'all think like the international players specifically, or just all basketball players and like their international success should be carried with a bit more respect than you think it is being carried with? Like, because obviously NBA is like the top cream of the crop, but I think that stuff that happens in like FIBA, Olympics, and stuff like that should be carried a bit more higher than what other people would think.
Well, Marshallanis is in the Hall of Fame because of what he did internationally. Tony Kukoc is in the Hall of Fame because of what he did internationally. We passed the space of these Euros just being Euros in terms of them being soft and like we passed that. These dudes ain't that. Like their international play speaks volumes. Manu Ginobili, his international play, he won a gold medal for Argentina.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys' international play speaks volumes for who they are as players. And I think we're past diminishing what the international game is. I think we're past that.
Okay, that's what's up.
Yep.
Anyway, I'm going hard on out, but hey, Matthew Stafford, the best quarterback in the NFL. Yes, sir.
That's what we doing, Ox. That's what you started, Ox. When you brought this dude up here, and you started with the Jalen Hurts stuff, that's what you started, Ox. That right there. So now we got Matthew Stafford is the best quarterback in the NFL. Who next after that? Who's the next best quarterback after Jalen Hurts and Matthew Stafford? I'm going to hear that Brock Purdy, who, by the way, is out for a month, by the way. Let's be clear about that. He out for a month. It sucks.
Oh, is he?
He got a shoulder.
Okay.
Yeah, he got a shoulder.
Yo, I mean, Brock looked really good this weekend. I liked what I saw from Brock. 100% I did. Yeah, man, Jalen Hurts being the best running quarterback of all time is just, that's way too much for me. Guys, we have to get out of here now. Appreciate everybody pulling up. Sorry if you're in the lobby I didn't get to. Y'all know we'll be right back on Saturday. Don't even trip. Come on, make sure you click on the link as soon as it happens. We will be on Playback TV a little later on. Y'all make sure to get there. We're doing Throwback Thursday. I don't know what the game is. Don't ask me. I don't know.
Neither.
Make sure y'all get there and just check it out for yourself, man. PCL, hey, PCL draft night is tomorrow. We will be drafting our team. Chill, have you been checking out the pool, or are you just going to kind of wing it tomorrow?
No, I've been checking out the pool. I already know who I know who I'm going with, and I got my what do they call it, Ox? The war room. I was in my war room, and I was going over some guys. This guy I already know how Ox feel about him. I already know how Swiper feel about him, and I know that he's gonna be available when I pick. So yeah, I've been doing my homework.
I'm just letting you know right now. I believe you're going to pick before me. If you don't get your man in the first round, he won't be around for the second. I'm just letting you know.
So the people who they don't know who my man is. I already got his jersey. So like how San Antonio had Duncan jersey, how Orlando had Shaq jersey. The guy that he talking about, I already got his jersey. So
okay, I just thought I'd just do you that service right now to let you know. Don't wait. Get him first, because if you don't get him, I will.
No, I already got his jersey. Don't even worry about that. We could. So, yes, sir. We will see you guys soon. Until then, put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive. Hey, man, call your mother. When last time you talked to your mother? Call your mother. If you're ever in the Portland area and you had too much to drink, call my big fella. He'll fix you up. He'll make sure that you get where you got to go. So we will see you guys soon. It was good to see you guys. We will see you guys soon. Until then, take it light. Take it. Absolutely, man. It was good to see you guys today. No doubt.
Peace. We'll see y'all on Playback here in a couple hours, man. Y'all take care of yourself. Never, ever, ever drink and drive, y'all. See ya.